What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean Green Lawn Service in beautiful South Georgia. Cold South Georgia, man. Can't be dealing with this, dude. 48 degrees this morning. I'm headed out to go cut one. I wish I'd known about this property last week. We would have cut it at the beginning of last week, but the guy sent a message, said, hey, anyway, y'all could cut this week. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it because we won't be going back over to this area for another 3 weeks or so. And I should have asked him last week, and he probably would have let me went ahead and done it. Well, if I'd asked him last week and he said no, then I wouldn't have went this week, you know. But it was Thanksgiving week, and I was basically, we had rain coming in, so, and I didn't want the guys to, you know, I was trying to get them all done by Tuesday. So anyway, it's all good. It's the only job I got to do today. I'm just piddling around the house anyway. Only bad thing is it's about 15 miles over there. You know, when you go out and do a one little deal like this, you put a little cash in the bank, but you really ain't making no money, you know. Because normally when I go to this area over here, it's 15 miles, but I normally cut, let's see, 250. I normally cut $300 and something worth of grass in this one trip, not $100 worth. So, but anyway, it's slow time of year and just kind of piddling around, I reckon. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do the rest of the day. By the way, people have been keeping up with me, checking on my wife. Appreciate that. They're trying steroids and physical therapy. So she goes for the first session today, and you know, hopefully that's going to help, because if they have to do surgery, it's not going to be good. She's going to lose a lot of mobility, is what it comes down to, if they have to do the surgery. So she's going to try this a couple of weeks, I guess maybe about 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and then we go back for a follow-up appointment and just kind of see how things go. So anyway, she's basically out of school until the first of the year, assuming everything goes well. So anyway, that's what we got going on, man. I see the gas propane truck out down here. Everybody's having to get propane down. This little cold snap came through. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here so I don't make a 10-minute introduction, and we'll just kind of see, you know, what we get into today. Check back with y'all. All right, here we go, man. What I do on this property, like this time of year especially, this is like crush run, but it's, you know, you got to be careful blowing it. But I blow all this stuff off into the yard and then chop up these needles. And actually what I do on one like this, I take all these needles and blow them back into the beds best I can, and it just looks cleaner, you know. So it's a decent sized little property, not really big, but there's just a lot of stuff to work around. So anyway, fixing to get out here and get it done, man. Check back with y'all. You don't always realize how much difference that pine straw on the driveway makes, but you see that versus this, how clean that is. Makes a big difference in appearance. All right, and there we go, man. A lot better. Got a bunch of leaves over here on this side. They already fallen again, but anyway, driveway's clean. So that's it. I don't even know how long I've been here. Been here a little while. Let me see here. I was on the phone right before I got here. I guess I've only been here an hour. So that's pretty quick. Now really, I didn't have to really weed eat because the grass isn't growing. So, but I double cut and triple cut a bunch of it, just trying to chop stuff up. Wasn't really cutting, just mulching. So, I mean, time-wise, it, you know, it still takes some time, but it'd be the same amount of time as just doing one regular cut and, you know, having to trim everything. But I kind of looked around everywhere I went. I got really close to the beds and all, and the grass is just not growing. So, I mean, I bet in the thickest spot out there, I probably only cut off maybe 3/4 of an inch. We hadn't been here in probably 6 weeks, so not doing much. Anyway, let me get going and see what else I can get into. One thing I forgot to tell y'all, the guy from the power company called me yesterday. I had him come out and look at where I'm gonna put the shop at, and if he comes from behind my property, probably looking at 4 poles. If he comes from my neighbor's property, maybe 2. But I'll have to cut I'll need to cut in there to it. It's about $700 a pole. That's for them to put the pole down, run the wire, all of that. So, you know, 1 pole's around $700, 2's around $14, 3's around $21, 4's around $2,800. The only problem with that is, if I come from my neighbor's house, they would A, have to add a guide wire, and that's in his yard, and I don't know exactly where they'd have to put it. And B is, it would go across his yard. He would have to give me a right-of-way, you know, well, he had to get a power company one. So, and I really don't, you know, I mean, he probably wouldn't care, but I gave somebody a right-of-way easement where I lived in Florida to run their power lines across my property, you know. But anyway, I don't know. That's just like, I don't know what I want to do there. I thought about what it is. I'm gonna get the guy. The guy told me he would come out and meet me, and we could talk about some options. And what I'm wondering is if he could run it underground. I wonder what it costs to run it underground across my neighbor's property. It'd be a couple of 100 feet across there. Because I would still rather come from the neighbors to the shop than come from behind my house. Because from behind my house, I mean, it's nothing but a tree line. And even if you cut a path for it, you're gonna always have issues with trees being over the power lines. And I don't want that. So, and I haven't decided what I'm gonna do back there on the property. I'm thinking about getting me some posts now, just building me a pole barn. Put me up a pole barn and then move the shelter back there later, maybe. So, decisions. I call them price of trusses. If I do wood trusses, it'll be about $700 for the trusses. And I may look into some metal ones. So, anyway, that's what we got going on. Let me get back towards the house, see what we get into. Check back with y'all. You know what'd be really awesome is if I got y'all some video of this. So originally, I cleared this, and I was gonna put a shelter across here where you can pull in the back and pull through. And just in case I do something with this later, I decided I'm gonna actually get a little further back. So, I mean, I'm still gonna keep all this cleaned out just to be able to turn around all that out here. My son-in-law is gonna try to come get these stumps out for me with his backhoe, I think. I mean, I think the backhoe they got on the tractor, I think theirs is like, I don't know, like 60, 65 horsepower, that Kubota. So, I don't think these will be too bad. There's a couple of them that's a little bigger, I don't know. I've never tried it with a tractor loader backhoe. So, I don't know how well they do on it, but anyway, he's gonna try to come take a look at it if I don't get it done before then. So, originally this was just a turnaround that was about 20 foot wide. And so now I got it back about, well, I don't know, from out here, this is probably 50 foot to the back. So what I'm gonna do for now, I think, is just come in here. That tree and that tree, I'm gonna actually cut them down because I don't want them over the shelter. But I just left my chain hopped off, and I don't have my tool down here for it. So anyway, I'm gonna cut them down and just leave the stumps there probably. But the shelter is basically gonna go across there. That'll be the back of it. I'm gonna make it 20 foot deep. I think I'm just gonna put a slant roof on it, something simple, put 4 bays in it. Have those bays about 12 foot. They'll be about 12 foot each, minus, you know, the width of the, probably just put up with 4x4s, I don't know. I could use 6x6s and not use as many of them, I guess, but I'm just gonna put a 4x4 at every bay. So that's kind of the plan right now. That'll give me enough to put both trailers, boat, tractor. If I want to put the tractor, I really ain't worried about the tractor. I'll probably use that last bay just to put the mowers in when they're not on the trailer maybe, or something, I don't know. And that's what I'm gonna start with. Eventually I probably want to get out here somewhere and build an enclosed shop, and you know, but I don't want to spend, I don't want to buy something smaller than what I want right now, and I don't want to spend enough to get like a 30x40, because I still got to get power run back here. So I still got a lot of money to spend just doing this, and I ain't even figured out the material for that, but I mean, I don't think it'll be too bad for the size that I'm gonna get. I'm gonna end up with a 20x48 just shelter, and then I may so for right now we're gonna have to back in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and then I'll probably end up clearing some more out back here and make it, I'm gonna make it where we can come straight down this drive. Now this drive is not the property line, but the trees are so big on the property line, there's no way I could have cleared them. I'd had to get an excavator in here. So for now, I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna make it where I go right on through there, and I can circle around and come and probably pull back through them eventually. Maybe, or I may end up closing the backs of them in and just back in them. So first thing is to get the shelter up, and then just kind of go from there. So man, the vines are crazy out here. Tarzan could go all the way through these woods without ever touching the ground, man. It'll kill you on that tractor too if you ain't careful. But anyway, that's what I've been down here working on. It's see, it's 5:21. I probably got back to the house from cutting and all. I probably started on, I had to go get some diesel. I probably started about 1 o'clock. So I've been down here a solid 4 hours, 4.5 hours. But I cut those trees. I cut trees back there. I've cut some more trees over here. So I've done a lot of work. And my property, I don't know if you can see the clearing out there. Basically the property goes out there, so I got room to keep going across. But again, there's some really big trees in there that I have to deal with. So I'm gonna start with this and just see what happens, man. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shut out the video here because I'm gonna get up to the house. That's gonna be it for today. Appreciate you watching. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you and that you might see all of your blessings as from him. Hope you have a great day.